The unofficial end of summer is upon us, and more than 148 million of us are hoping to use this weekend for one more summer getaway.
TSA expects this will be the busiest day at airports, following what's already been a record season of summer travel. CBS News senior transportation correspondent Kris Van Cleave is live with us this morning at LAX in Los Angeles with more on what we can expect. And Kris, how have the airlines performed during this busy summer travel season?
Ken, Courtney, good to be with you this morning. The airlines have actually performed pretty well. When you compare this summer to last summer, we saw cancellations drop by about 21%, even though we had that rough stretch right around July 4th weekend where we saw weather really disrupt some of the airlines. And a big part of that has to do with an improvement in airline staffing. Remember, last summer there were all kinds of shortages. There just weren't enough people. Airlines have hired thousands and thousands of employees. The FAA has been increasing staffing at air traffic control centers. That continues to be a bit of a challenge, and that's why we saw delays this summer increase. About 1 in 4 flights this summer left late, but the airlines canceled far fewer flights, so people at least got where they were going.
Now, Kris, let's talk about what's driving the boom in travel and where are people going?
So we saw about a 4% bump for Labor Day in domestic bookings, and international travel around Labor Day is absolutely on fire. Bookings up 44%. Hotel reservations internationally up something like 80%, AAA says. So clearly a move here where people were feeling comfortable traveling internationally, the pandemic far enough in the rearview mirror and making up for lost time, so to speak, after a couple of years of not traveling. That's a factor. The other thing AAA points to is so many people have flexible work now that suddenly you can take a couple of extra days, so that quick jaunt to Europe from the East Coast seems a lot more doable if you've got 5 days instead of a 3-day weekend and you want to try to squeeze in London or Paris or Dublin, some of the big international destinations.
Well, here in Boston, Kris, a lot of people hit the road because there's so many close destinations. When do you say the best time to travel will be for this holiday weekend?
So AAA says either hit the road right after you finish watching WBZ in the morning and CBS Mornings, or wait until this evening, or even shift it to tomorrow, because late afternoon you'll see normal rush hour plus people starting their long weekend. And when it comes time to come back home, try to avoid like basically 9 to 6 on Monday, because that's when folks are going to be heading back home. We're going to be talking about all of this, of course, coming up on CBS Mornings here in a little bit.